My name is Sean Bergen, and I'm a member of the ComSysNet education team. In this video, I will discuss how to choose a license for your software. Choosing a license is often one of the last things you think about when you are making your software available to others. Yet, the license you provide can be as important as making the software available. In the past, when I published a model, I would look at old code to see what license I chose in the last software I published. Or I'd look to see what a colleague or friend had used recently and choose the same license. However, choosing an appropriate license is not complicated, and the purpose of each model you make is an important consideration. The model you make as part of your dissertation may not need different use rights than the model which you create for a nonprofit. Although there are a wide number of open source licenses, it can be relatively simple to choose one if you understand a few minor distinctions. In this lesson, we will review the importance of choosing a software license and will provide you with the information to choose a license for any of your software. So, what is a license? Why do I need one? When you create software, the program is under exclusive copyright by default. A license waives part of a copyright by defining terms and conditions for the usage of the product. In other words, a license is a promise by you, the licensor, not to sue anyone else who uses your software, the licensees, if they comply with the license terms and conditions. Authors of code tend to share it expecting that others will use it, modify it, and share it. However, as the default is exclusive copyright, meaning only you can use it, you need to explicitly state that you allow others to use, modify, and share your code. Even if you only email your code to someone, it needs a license. Also, the opposite is true. If you find code on GitHub or ComSys and it doesn't have a license, then you shouldn't use it. You can ask the code maintainers to add a license, but until they do, you shouldn't use other people's software. In order to allow others to use your code, you must choose an open source license for it. Conversely, if you wish to modify someone's code, then you must provide that software with a license as well. Using a license with your software allows you to direct how your software is used in the future. A license can provide you with legal grounds to those who violate your license. Alternatively, a license can protect you from legal action against your software. So how do you choose the license for your code? You need to ask yourself a few simple questions. Are you okay with other people modifying your code? Are you okay with people making money from your code? Is the acknowledgement that you were the original author important to you? In order to provide other researchers with the ability to modify your software, you choose an open source license. And to do so, you must consider more than just if someone can modify your code software, but one must consider how others are allowed to modify your software and what they can do with it when they're done. Open source license let others know they are allowed to modify your software, and the license you choose can give some legal protection. There are two basic types of open source licenses: copyleft and permissive. Copyleft licenses require that anyone who modifies your free and open code must release their code and make it free and open as well. Copyleft licenses include the New Public License, or GPL, the AGPL, the LGPL licenses, and the Mozilla Public License 2.0. Most of you that choose copyleft will probably choose the GPL license. Permissive licenses, unlike copyleft, allow anyone to modify your code without making it open to others. Also, permissive licenses allow software developers to charge money for their version of the software. The only limitation is that authors must acknowledge the developer of the initial release. Permissive licenses include the MIT license, the Apache License 2.0, and the BSD licenses. So let's look at a quick example. You've just finished writing your software and you've released it with a permissive license. And now others are going to go ahead and modify your software. What license options are available to them? Well, if you've released it with permissive, future researchers can also release that software with a permissive license. But They can also release it with a copyleft license, meaning that their version of your software would be restricted in the future. They may also release it with a proprietary commercial license, which means that they might make money from their version of your program. Now let's consider the example of using a copyleft license. Future researchers may also then use a copyleft license. But what about permissive and proprietary? Permissive seemingly would be an option because it gives more permission to people. However, because you've chosen a copyleft license, people are only allowed to use a copyleft. The same for proprietary. People may not choose a proprietary license for the code that you've released with a copyleft license. Copyleft licenses may only be released as copyleft licenses by all researchers in the future. Before we conclude, there are a few other issues that you should consider when choosing your license. If you are contributing to a project, your contribution should use a compatible license. For example, if you're making a module for the GRASS GIS program, your extension should use a license that's compatible with the license used by the GRASS GIS community. Grant funding may determine the type of license that must be used. Many funding agencies require that code created through research projects be open access. Some open source licenses explicitly dictate if software can be used in commercial applications. If you wish to provide your software to a company, they may be reluctant to use a tool with a copyleft license. And if your code is very small, less than 300 words, then the difficulty added by being copyleft is probably unnecessary.